And there we are. Ooh, listen to me effectively having my microphone down my throat, so let's not do that anymore. Okay, what we're going to be doing today is going to be a little bit more laid back than usual again. It's been a busy week on my end. I'm sorry. So like last time we streamed was on Tuesday. We didn't do that much. We wrote a little bit of code. We fixed up a little bit of things, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing here today as well. We're going to just be playing through, and whenever we see any issues, is just what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be working on, whatever I run into. I already know of a couple of issues that we're going to run into. So I'm going to just pretend like we come across them for consistency's sake, I guess. And then also just to show off what the issue is to you guys. And then we'll get right into fixing that. And hopefully the couple of issues that I have already in mind aren't going to prove to be too difficult. Also, I really do need to go see a doctor about that cough. It's been weeks. I really, really should get that checked out. I probably won't, but I should. So, first things first is... Oh, that's actually on my headphones. That's very loud on my headphones then. Is it loud on stream as well? It's actually not. Okay. Okay, so first things first is I need menu navigation for controller. So right now, it might not seem like I have... Holy hell. So what I'm going to do actually instead is I'm going to just like lower the volume on this because it's actually really loud. So if I lower the volume on this, it's actually not any quieter for you guys. That's perfect. I don't think it is anyway. Because now I can't hear myself anymore either, which is really annoying. I like hearing myself. That's why I became a YouTuber. Anyway, so it might not look like it right now, but I do have the new game button as the default select. So if I just press the enter key, okay, I don't anymore because I clicked around on things. Default selected is new game. What the fuck? It's supposed to be. Did I not save that? I did do a little bit of work in between streams. So main menu. On startup, set focus is new game button. I guess this focus isn't being set to... Oh, that's probably the issue. The focus is probably not being set to the parent thingy majig. In the game instance here, when we add the main menu, we add main menu and we add it to viewport, but we never set its focus to that. So let's add that as well, which is a player controller thing actually. So set focus. Maybe it's not a player controller thing. Set focus. Doesn't take in a player controller. That's interesting. I thought it would need to. Oh well. So now that we have that, the default focus... The fuck are you on about? Main menu doesn't support focus. Well, that'll be the fucking issue. It's focusable. There we go. So the default thing should be... I don't know, man. Is it because I'm clicking on? It's probably because I'm clicking on, right? There. What? Why is it load? What the hell? Sound is fine for the listener. Good to hear. I'm happy about that. What actually... New game button. We're setting the focus to the new game. Don't tell me. Don't tell me I named them wrong. No, I didn't. I didn't. So why is the focus by default? Like, if I just start the game up and press enter. Oh. Huh? What? Look, I don't like menu navigation stuff. Like, this is why I like PC gamers, because they just have a fucking mouse. I don't think this is needed, because the other thing is already setting focus. In the standalone game, it works. So, okay, that's the only thing that matters, how it functions in the standalone game. So, we have that as just the default thing that is selected. I can just use the arrow key down and then it goes into never mind. It doesn't. It should, but it doesn't. So that's something to maybe look into, but I don't really care right now. So we'll just ignore that. The thing that I actually wanted to show off has more to do with the combat. So we have this stuff. I can actually click through it with my controller now. Fantastic. We did that earlier this week. Which means that I can play with my controller properly. But when I kill this guy, which I will do here in a moment. Okay, I missed that horribly. I can keep attacking him even though he's already dead, and I can juggle him like mid-death. So that shouldn't be a thing. I don't know if that's obvious. Should be. So yeah, there is an issue where it's pretty easy to fix, I think, because in the where is it? The sword attack base. Oh my god, can I actually finally rename sword dash back to sword attack 1? I'm gonna lose my mind. I've restarted my whole damn PC and it still doesn't let me. Anyway, in sword attack base, we have all this stuff, right? So we don't need to print out the name of the class that we're executing anymore because we have that fixed. We have this stuff just hanging out. We'll look into that later. But then on damage player, I want to see if the target, which is, yes, the target here is the enemy that we're attacking. Right? Yes, it is. So we need to check whether or not that thing is in the process of dying. The way we do that is a fantastic question. Good morning. What's up? Good evening for me, but good morning for you, apparently. Welcome to the stream. That's kind of nice that we can... Huh. I never saw that this units thing was a thing, but that's actually kind of nice. Huh, cool. Don't care. So where do we implement the behavior for applied damage? I'm guessing I would have to be in this parent class somewhere, right? So just in the enemy class. That's the constructor. Thank you very much for the for giving. Sadly, I don't have much time to stick around. You have a nice evening. The VOD will be up like forever, so if you want to watch it after the fact, that's good. If not, that's cool. I'm always happy to help out. So now I have 8 p.m. on my side. Just too lazy to think what time it is. That is 1000% fair. I keep forgetting to turn on my stream overlay chat after I record videos. I'm very sorry about that. So yeah, I've got kill enemy here. I guess in kill enemy I can just flip a ball. I think that's the easiest way to implement this stuff, because I think, and this is probably a bad way of doing it, to be honest, but I think the way that I have things set up here is in my, not in player, where the fuck, it's probably, oh, I have a different enemies folder, because that makes sense. Kind of does, I suppose. So in here, for instance, like basic demon, I think we have the damage taking code in the, how do I deal with damage? Where do I have that? Where does that code exist? Surely it's in ground enemy base then. Update damage box, tick, begin play, reset revenge counter, increase. Where does the damage stealing code exist? What? Oh, maybe I should look at my own code. So what it does is if it sees it's a ground enemy base class, it does all this stuff. If that class fails, it just does a generic applied damage. Okay, now that actually does make a lot more sense. So after we do all that, we call on damage. So yeah, destroy enemy just calls kill actor on the enemy stats component. Enemy defeated. What is this code even? I don't even. I have no idea what made me write it this way. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go into here and I'm just going to add a bool for being dead. So that's just gonna be a U property. Blueprint. I think read only will be good enough. That's gonna be a bool, and we'll just call it dead. Let's call it is dead, just because. 6:12 here in the UK. It's 7:12 here in the Netherlands. So I started a little bit late today. I had a phone call going a little longer than I anticipated, which was it was a good call, but I just kind of forgot that I was also supposed to stream and kind of overlapped and all that stuff. Where were we with that? Okay, so when the Netherlands, my second home, it's my first home. I hope you like it better as your second home than I do as my first. Didn't we just have like a kill enemy function on here? What? Enemy defeated. Oh, it's in a base enemy. That makes sense, actually. So that means that the U property here should be in this instead. So let's throw it in there. And then we just say is dead just equals true. Out of curiosity, would this work? It would work, okay. Interesting. So now with that, we can put in a check for the is dead. And if it is dead, we just don't do anything to it anymore. So we don't like apply damage. We don't do a knockback effect again. We don't like restart the animation. We just let the thing die. That's been an issue that's been bothering me for weeks. And I think we finally will have it fixed. The code is an absolute mess, but we'll have it fixed. Oh, I didn't save the changes I made. Oh, well. It really should do that on its own. Okay, so here we have... I think we need to put that cast in a little earlier. Yeah, we do. Because this is just a generic object. Oh, it is an actor reference, but that still doesn't really... Oh, fuck me. Well, this is going to look ugly for a moment. But hey, what else is new? Get is dead. And only if it's not that, we do all that stuff. I really should clean up all those lines. We can at least clean up that one. And then this one can go away because this can reuse that. We can reuse it as well there. Just pull this one back a little bit. Just replace the mess. And that kind of fixes a lot, to be honest. Don't think we need that line anymore either then. Just put a redirecting node here. This is one of the reasons that Blueprint is both kind of fun, but also a gigantic waste of everybody's time sometimes, because you spend time making things look pretty. I'll be moving over. That's interesting. I don't think our current government is going to like that. That being said, by the time you move over, they might not be the government anymore, so who the fuck knows. Yeah, I think we have fixed the, not to get too political, but like they're very like anti-immigration, even for like expats, even for just like work related stuff. They're like, keep people out. And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like the economy is a thing. Maybe don't do that. Like, if you keep people out, at some point you're going to keep, like, foreign money out as well. And that means that I'm going to be broke as shit. Even more so than I am right now. Alright, let's see if we have fixed up our issues or if we've made them worse. Yeah, we still missed that attack a lot. We need to fix that up, but that's a separate issue. So once he's dead, he's dead, and we can't hit him anymore. So that's issue 1 fixed. We've actually done something on this stream already. So even if we don't do anything else with the next, like, hour, we'll have been productive. What the fuck? Oh, every place we... Oh, that's gonna be annoying. So, everywhere where we have one of these fuckers, I'm setting the... input mode to UI only. I think maybe not. Hold on. Because set first text doesn't set UI only, right? Yeah, I mean, it makes the world go around, as they say. It really does. Pretty much all around Europe, the economy could do with a boost. You tell me. You tell me. Well, it's a complicated issue, I suppose. In a lot of ways. Oh, is it this one? Surely somewhere in here we have... Why doesn't it work? Did those changes... Huh? Why does this not let me go through? No. Because we banked this to in production now, right? Yeah, we did. I don't care. So why does this work for the one place and not the other one? I mean, it's a bit... I'm going to be real with you. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword sometimes because... and this is a little vain. I'm going to just, like, straight up admit that. But, like... As someone who makes tutorials, it feels a little bit bad to be seen stumbling around. But I also do think that most people who make tutorials have that, like, same vanity to them and don't show that part, which then creates very unrealistic expectations as to what, like, a creative process is actually like. Why the fuck does this not work? Case in point. So I do think, like, these live streams are a fun way to hang out, but I also do think that it's like there's a value to it, to seeing how fucked up things can get, and not only, like, when I record a tutorial, sometimes I do things wrong in the recording of a tutorial, even though I, like, pre-plan things for the most part. But I can cut that out and I can, like, re-record that, and for, like, informational content, that's important. You don't want to, like, give a wrong piece of information and then 10 minutes later say, oh, actually that was wrong. No, you go back in, you cut the wrong piece out and you put in the correct piece of information because you're trying to inform people. But that gets this idea across that, like, you always just know everything at all times, which is just not how that works. So I do think that, like, seeing me fuck up is an important part of, like, the process. That said, I wish I were fucking up a little less. Because none of this makes sense. How do I do this in the... Oh, it's a combat tutorial. This is a spawner tutorial. See, sometimes it's just as easy as that. Just being in the wrong fucking level, Blueprints. Oh my god. Yeah, the level streaming things in your project are weird, man. I don't know what's happening there, if I'm being, like, 100% honest with you. Like, everything that you show should work, but it doesn't. So I hope that I can help you get through that as well. Okay, so here we set it to UI input mode only. So, okay, I need to remember Shift Delete. I need to get that into my system. I figured out that shortcut like a couple of weeks ago, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. So we're going to do it here again. We select this thing, Shift Delete. Keeps the connection between the two nodes on either side. It is actually amazing. And if there is a setting anywhere in Unreal that makes this a default behavior, and anybody knows of where I can change that setting, please tell me. Because I want that to be the default behavior. When I delete a node, I want it to just, like, reconnect up automatically. And I'm sure that there is a, like, let's just go into, like, the, like, edit up references maybe. Node. How would you even search for that? Like, connect. Oh, I guess what you could just do is you could delete and reconnect exact pins and just set that to being delete and backspace. And then delete These are now... Okay, so that those original ones take priority. I guess this is now shift delete and shift backspace then, right? We'll go back into here now. No, what the fuck? Something else? Oh, it's specifically in the graph editor, hold on. So this can just still be delete and shift because this is common commands, I guess. Let's just go through and see. Like, that's general keyboard shortcuts, that makes sense. I should not be wasting time on this, to be honest with you, but here we are. Let's see, we have, it's alphabetical clearly, so we are going to just scroll down to G, because it's going to take... wait, it's not alphabetical? I saw an F a moment ago. Now it is alphabetical, I just scrolled back up. Okay, graph editor. I don't know, man. We'll just go back to shift delete and shift backspace. It's good to maybe keep the default bindings, so if people wondering what they are, I can give them the default bindings for them. Anyway, I was doing the thing. Yeah, I think the only thing we needed to do is remove those two nodes, I think. Unreal API is kind of difficult to learn. Do you have any tips for learning it? Just kind of like doing it is the only thing that I can really like advise. Like, try not to make something too big, too huge, too complicated right off the bat. Like, if you know that you're in the process of learning something, try to make something that's relatively simple before jumping in to make like your fucking multiplayer MMO RPG with like flaming horses or something like that, right? Yeah, so now they work. Good. Instead, maybe try to like make Tetris or make Pong or whatever. Okay, something was weird about that one. Let's go through that again and pay a little bit more attention to what's actually happening. So yeah, that's pretty much like the only thing. But that's like general learning advice is everybody who's getting into learning something is either doing it because they have to, because like their school or their job tells them to, or because they are like very motivated. And generally speaking, people who are like super motivated tend to just jump in too deep too quickly. And that's because they have passion and they have like a lot of, well, motivation, as I say, to like dive in and try to like make stuff and do stuff, and like a lot of ambition to like get somewhere with all that. But that can also burn you out because you're trying to make something that you're just not ready to do. So yeah. That said though, do try to make something complete. Don't just try to make like one feature and copy that from a tutorial and then do another tutorial for one feature. Try to like think of something start to finish that you can finish in like a week or two. And then it's probably going to take a month or two instead. Don't be discouraged by that either. That is normal. Okay, something is weird about that as well. Let's see. And yeah, of course, the, like, actually sitting down, taking the time to learn the basics instead of just, like, cherry-picking the features that you want to learn, I think gives you a good base knowledge to then build upon, instead of straight away jumping in, which again is a matter of people getting, like, over-motivated and wanting to make the thing that they want to make. I think it is in your long-term interest to invest a little bit of time to do something that might be boring initially. But you're already watching my like Unreal introductory course, so that's exactly the reason that I make those introductory courses, because I think that it's valuable to learn in that way first. So you're on the right track there, as far as my opinion goes. So, the fuck's happening here? That's my problem. I try to learn as I go, and often I end up diving too deep. You and, like, almost literally everybody else, like, in this niche. And again, it's not something that anybody can be blamed for. It comes from a place of, like, again, passion for the most part. So that's a good thing. It's just something that you can, like, burn yourself on a little bit. And I'm telling you that from experience, by the way, because I do the exact same thing. Yeah, that's also really good advice. Like, trying to do something on your own and then afterwards seeing how other people have done it and seeing where you might have, like, gone, like, overcomplicated or undercomplicated in some cases, like oversimplified. Or unoptimized or whatever. Once you get to a level where optimization matters, again, at the start, don't worry about that. Just worry about getting things to work within reason. That's a really good one. Yeah, like, at some point you're gonna get to a moment where you don't look up a tutorial because you don't know how to do something. You look up a tutorial because you want to see how other people do it, and that might seem like the same thing, but it's not really. Because at that point, like, you probably already have an idea as to how you're going to do it. You just want to see if other people have other ideas before you invest that time, which is kind of this idea, except that you do look up the tutorial beforehand, because I don't like wasting time. But that's what I do for a lot of features. Like, I have an idea in my mind. I see if other people have, like, content on it, and I say, hey, maybe they have some other ideas that can maybe benefit me. I think the issue here is that I just have auto remove set to false. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, hold on. No. Shift delete. Gotta burn that into my muscle memory. I'm even less productive than usual today because, frankly, it's been a long week. I've been working on some cool videos though, which hopefully will be up somewhat soon. It's a good week when being busy means that I've been doing a lot of YouTube and not a lot of working for clients. Oh, Shift Delete, I'll show you in a moment. Shift Delete deletes a node in the node editor, but keeps the connection on both sides. So it's a way to, let's see, does this now work the way I want it to? No, it still doesn't. Okay, kind of fucked, isn't it? So yeah, if you just delete a node normally, it disconnects the nodes on either side, which can be annoying because you then have to, like, do this, right? But if you select a node and you Shift Delete, it just reconnects the nodes on either side of it automatically. Now, of course, if you do this with a node that's a little bit more involved, like for instance, a node with multiple outputs or multiple inputs, I don't know how it's going to deal with that. I imagine that it doesn't like doing that, but just for normal nodes, it's really nice. Yeah, I just learned about it like 2 weeks ago or something like that, I think. I've been trying to force myself to use it because like just Control-Zing and forcing myself to do it again, at some point I'm going to like just have it as second nature, and it's going to save me like a second and a half every time I do it. But if you're working on Blueprint like that over the course of a day, that can legitimately save you like a handful of minutes. Which means that over the course of like a month of work, you're saving potentially like hours, like actually hours of work. And like tedious, like annoying stuff to do, right? Like one of the things that Blueprint really sucks about it's like reconnecting nodes. Apparently you don't have to do that. Now it would be nice if you could also like click connect nodes as well. Man, somebody smarter than me, make a plugin where if you just like click on a node and then you like control click on another node, it connects them up. That would be the dream. Please somebody do that. Yeah, no, just saving one mouse click, especially if it's a mouse click and drag, is actually huge if it is something that is like very common in your workflow. Like I am the kind of motherfucker that will spend 10 minutes coding a script to get rid of like one mouse click, just because it's easier to like just click one button and have it like do two or three actions than it is to do those over and over and over again. Also just because I like coding more than I like doing tedious stuff. Okay, so what is actually going wrong here? Because this is the thing. Oh, hold on, that's the wrong. So that auto, no, it is the right one. So what actually is happening here? We are binding on and screen. Then we're adding to viewport, we're adding the texts, which is, oh, it's only 2 texts. So then we set the first text, that makes sense. And then we play that animation. Am I going to get copyright struck because my neighbors are being loud with their music? Feels like I might be. So we're just going to be talking the fuck over that. And okay, so we have next text. Next text checks if there is a text after it as well. So it increases the text index. And then checks whether that is greater than the length -1. But why does it only do it for that one? Shift click on connect pin and then shift click on the other pin and they will connect. Oh, is that the case? Hold on. This thing is now highlighted. It is. You just saved my life. Like I would prefer if I could do it on a node by node basis instead of having to do it with the pins. But the pins, it makes sense, right? Because some nodes have multiple in or output pins. That is amazing. Holy hell. You know, the more I learn about like actually working more with Blueprint, the less of an issue it actually is. Still, it's faster to just write C++ code. But that is... Thanks for Googling that for me, then. Because that is... like. Wait, does the chat not display? Why does the chat not display? Chat's not displaying, is it? Oh, because it's using the Restream chat and I don't use Restream anymore. I'll see if I can get that figured out for the next stream. Restream doesn't take PayPal. Only credit card. So after like a couple of months, I had some like issues with my bank. So I can only pay things with PayPal now. Speaking about that, Adobe, go fuck yourself. Adobe technically accepts PayPal, except when I try to link my PayPal account, it doesn't accept it. Like, I honestly don't know. And there's also websites that like accept PayPal, but then only accept PayPal when it is linked to a credit card rather than a bank account. At which point, why do you even bother accepting PayPal? At that point, I can just pay with my fucking credit card. Like having issues with your bank and then just like noping the fuck out of your credit card is like actually an issue. It's really annoying. Anyway, okay, so there's 1, 2. Why does it have like 4 clicks that I need to do? Because it only has 2 texts. I guess that is why I had the auto remove on it, but that didn't do. Okay. Wow. That's oh, it also works backward though. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna try to put that into my workflow as well, because that's actually quite nice. Oh, it's kind of nice as well that the background music is stopped now, because again, wasn't good music. Definitely wasn't. And there it is again. And I'm legitimately worried about like copyright stuff, because I don't know if it's like very audible. I would really, really suck if this stream had to get like muted or removed because my neighbors are playing music, which is like their fair right to like sit in their own backyard and play music, but would suck for me. At least you have a working PayPal. Yeah, kinda. Except that when I actually want to use it in place of a credit card, like half the time they just straight up won't let me. Which makes the PayPal itself kind of useless. Okay, waves enemy, reward. Is it a timing thing? Is it just at the end of that scene? I'm gonna spam click through it. I think it's 4 clicks, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would that be 4 clicks? I actually think that maybe you guys don't hear the music at all. Now I look at my audio spectrum, because yeah, I think the noise removal is actually taking care of it. It's still annoying, but I think the noise reduction is actually filtering it out, which is really nice. That said though, now that I'm actually experiencing the new combat animations and like the new like revised combat in general, it does feel a lot better, doesn't it? I mean, you guys can't properly feel it, but okay. Spam click your way through it. It is 4 clicks. Why is it 4 clicks? How is it 4 clicks? Trigger box 2. I don't care about trigger box 2. Like, why does it even have all this shit? What is it? Oh, might that be the issue? But why is that suddenly an issue now? So it's got this one. Okay, so on end screen, it resets the widget. Why would it reset the widget then? Why don't I just add that in the text for the spawner? It's adding 2 empty bits of text, which makes no sense. But it also makes no sense that I would like program it this way. So I was probably like high as balls when I did this or something. So this is just gonna, oh, because this takes in an attack button and this takes in a different, oh, that's why. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that, okay. That's why. Okay, I get it now. I know why I did this. I don't know how I'm gonna fix it. Except I guess what I could do is I could make this a reference. I don't know if you can reference. You should be able to like do a reference. Or not. No value will be returned by reference parameters texts node. So what if we just make it this? No. This will always be passed by reference. So this should work then, right? I must be missing something. Oh, it removes it for, oh. Oh yeah, okay, so that's what I added that bit. I don't think it should be doing that bit. Does it do that bit in the level blueprint as well? I guess. Okay. So what it's doing is it's actually removing that, but it's still around, so it doesn't actually delete it. So yeah. Okay, that's fucked. And that's what auto remove does. That's what auto remove does. Okay, so we actually like call on end screen, and when auto remove is true, which it is by default, I think, right? Default value is true, yeah. That's when we remove this thing from parents. So remove from parents. But if it is false, we don't remove it from parents. So and then in here, on end screen, we don't need to do that anymore. We remove from parent. Okay, I think we've got everything figured out now. I wasn't expecting to be spending so much time fixing up my UI in this stream. I was thinking more like gameplay and enemy bugs and like the spawner system, which is kind of messed up, but that seems to work now, so that's good. But apparently today's a day where we do UI stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying it, because I sure as hell am not. But it needs to be done at some point, and that's the wrong button, but I can still fucking kill you with the scythe, so... Get fox, I guess. I also need to retime the animations, I think, for the teleport attack still. Probably should do that today as well. Okay, so that one works properly. So now this one should also... It doesn't, but that's probably just because I didn't give it the proper values. Special attack, yeah. Press the special attack button. You can unleash a powerful special attack at the cost of some mana. I don't know if that's too long. Might be too long. Anyway, how is everybody doing today? I haven't asked you guys how you are doing yet. How rude of me. Let's actually use the controller as well. Like, I bought this controller for a reason. Maybe there should be a little bit more time between like ending a combo and starting the next one. But I also kind of like the idea that you can juggle enemies like this. Especially now that we're leaning more into like the hack and slash thing compared to like the Souls-like thing. I think being able to just absolutely juggle the fuck out of an enemy is fun. Yeah, so that's too long of a text. But this should be fairly easy to remedy at this point, right? Because we can just say, hey, special attack text is actually 2 bits of text. So you can unleash this powerful special attack. Be aware of your mana, though. We probably have some way. Some people have such bad music taste. I know you guys probably can't hear it, which is a good thing, but there's probably some way for this text to like wrap around automatically, right? So let's actually take a look at that instead. I think that might be a better way of doing it. So let's actually Google that real quick. Unreal widgets text wrapping. Text wrapping in UI. I would very much like it. I've set this up at some point in the past. It's just solved it. Had to use the overlay. Okay. So if I just put that text like on an overlay, that'll do it. Will that? I don't know that it will. But we're gonna try. If we wrap this in an overlay. I mean, that certainly did something. I don't know why I decided to write this with the F key, because it is number one, not working. And number two, the thinnest letter in the alphabet, other than like maybe I. Okay, so that just straight up is not true. You need to be more specific. This is default behavior. Well, it's not for me. Fucking is it? Can I like unwrap this somehow? Oh, I guess I can Control Z it. Did I? If true, it will automatically wrap text in this widget within. Oh, auto wrap text. Did I turn that off? It seems like I might have turned that off. I don't know why I ever would. But there we go. It is default behavior apparently. Or at least it is a bool that you can just flip. Controller. Because at this point I'm also like looking into game feel, right? So I really need to make sure that the controller is it's like doing its thing. A little bit of weirdness there with healing. I could start it, but it didn't stop, and it should also stop me from walking when I'm healing. I didn't do that either. Okay, let's see. I mean, it should also get rid of like the HUD overlay there, but we'll. You know, that works. Okay, so for now, I guess we're at a point where all that works. Ooh, yeah, we definitely should not allow you to switch weapons mid-attack. But that's just a matter of, hey, I should disable player input during that attack, I think. But actually the timing of these animations, even though I changed a lot of my own animations and like the timings in them, for that attack they still kind of work fairly well. So that's fantastic. So both of those are dead. Okay, so now next up is the fact that Fucking have it your way. We'll put an is valid in here just so that you stop bitching about it. And if it's not valid, set event has happened. I guess we still want to set that just in case. Next up is this spawner in wave 2 should be spawning more enemies. It's spawning this one, but not the ghosts. And the ghosts are a little bit buggy because look at their fucking hitbox. But I think that is literally as easy as just saying, hey, replace actor with a ghost. BP. Wait, how does that work? I've never actually used that functionality before. They all should not have cameras on each individual enemy. But hey. Yeah, with this one. Or is the blueprint itself all kind of... the blueprint itself is probably just messed up. No, the blueprint itself is all good. So we literally just remove these and manually re-add them, I suppose. Yeah, they're referencing BP spawn. I know. That's why. Either in the persistent world, they should be in spawner tutorial. That's now also our level context, so that's good. And this will now be able to... Oh, it actually can take things out of the persistent world. That's fucking fantastic. We'll just use the picker then. I think this will fix it, and if it doesn't, I don't know what the issue is. But I think they also have an issue with like their mesh scale, which is what I was trying to fix before, which caused this issue. So I think... We can now just start at spawn tutorial, luckily. I think this is now going to have an issue where it's like when it does its revenge attack, it spawns in the corresponding... I thought I heard like screaming music. I was going to be annoyed by that, but it's just children screaming, so I can be annoyed by that instead. So yeah, those revenge attack particles that you sometimes see in some of these enemies when I've hit them a couple of times. Those ones. They scale up weirdly with different skeletal meshes because they actually like do emit from the skeletal mesh itself. So if the skeletal mesh is scaled, it does something weird, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like scaled up and scaled down particle emitters are weird. Like at least it spawns in now, but like when they attack those animations, I need to just rework on those meshes, because for some reason that specific animation is then scaled up. I think it's just the attack animations that are scaled up, and I think it's something to do with their root motion being enabled or something like that. I don't know. But that's definitely something to look into right now. So BP Ghost. This is going to be relatively easy to check out, right? Because I think it's just the attack animations in here. So we have like left hit. There we have it. Like this one has root motion not enabled. I need to do these, but this one has, hold on. This one has normalized root motion scale. And most other ones here do as well. So I'm guessing that this one also should have that enabled actually. And then left hit also has that. And right hit also, oh, but right hit has root motion enabled. That's the issue then. And revenge hit also has root motion enabled, so it just shouldn't do that. Yeah, I think that will fix that, but it'll probably reintroduce the issue of the particle system, because the particle system doesn't like dealing with the fact that the mesh is scaled down and then scaled back up or something like that. I don't really know what's up with it, to be honest with you. But we'll figure it out. Yeah, I think they also, like, the forward momentum on most of my strikes needs to be bigger, because I think I accidentally, in the last stream, increased the powerfulness? The power. It's just called the power. The power of the knockback ability, because it's now taking longer? Question mark? I don't know. Maybe it's going quicker, actually. Case in point, I just need the forward dash in the normal attacks to be a little bit more powerful, because otherwise we end up missing too much. Okay. These fuckers. They're too big to begin with. They need to be smaller, but at least, like, all that was... You see, it emits the particles coming from the skeletal mesh, but then the things that are just being emitted from like, not directly from the mesh, but like, I think it's a sphere location or something like that. They're not being emitted properly, and that's kind of weirding me the fuck out. But at least they, aside from that, function properly. Which makes me hopeful that this entire room now works properly again. Well! I don't think that's working properly. Yes, it probably just had an empty... I should restart through here, actually. That's annoying, that's annoying, that's annoying. Okay, there we go. I think we saved it. It probably just had an empty entry in that array. I really should build in protection against that, to be honest with you, because that's going to happen a lot while I'm designing the game. Am I going crazy, or are these fuckers getting louder? So it's still not registering on my audio meter, so that's probably fine. Yeah, tutorial. That's what we're doing. Purple level can go fuck off. Red level especially. That's like future talk, man. I made that very early. Way too early, but I just wanted to level block out at some point, and then I was like, oh, I'll just do this ones, and then here we are. It seems to have actually saved the changes to the thing, but it's probably in here just got, yeah, this one's just empty, so we can just delete this. That will be 2 flying golems. Well, actually, yeah, 2 flying golems, 1 basic demon, and 1 spider. So that should be all there is to it. Okay. So the other thing, and now that we're here anyway, back outside of gameplay, the other thing that I was just bitching about is the, like, revenge particles, which is this one. You see, it generates, let's see, I don't know which one it is actually. Oh, it's these three. These three just, I think, yeah. They generate particles up in this like spiral pattern, and then they just render that as a ribbon. And they, in shape location, do that as a disk. And I guess the ring radius here is somehow static. But it's actually not though, is it? Because what it does, this is the weird thing. On these guys, it works properly. And if I go into this mesh, we will see that the mesh scale for this guy is like about 50%, right? So, sure. I thought it was going to be 1, but it's not. It's about 50%. If we go into this guy, the mesh scale for this is 13. So what it seems to do is it seems to be taking that 100 unit radius and scaling that up by 13 as well, which actually makes a lot of sense. So can I divide this by like the parent mesh scale or something like that? That would be, I guess what we do is we set this, yeah, we can probably just do that with a parameter. It's a hacky way of fixing it, but it probably will fix it, to be honest. So probably doesn't actually like radius scale. If we just like multiply, and then we can also influence this on a case by case basis easier. So by default, that's going to be set to 1. Doesn't actually seem to be influencing anything at all. The fuckers are getting louder. Holy hell, I'm gonna fucking... I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be not happy. That's what I'm gonna be. Okay, so let's try to copy this and paste. And in here as well. Paste. And if I set this to 0, that's actually influence them. So this doesn't fucking... Oh, hold on. It's because I'm setting rotate around point. Yeah, so this shape location thing actually fucking doesn't do anything. Okay. It is because we're rotating around point. So we're setting the... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So that means that how do we do this actually? That's a fun fucking tastic question. Rotation phase. Surely this has like a radius, right? This is position. Oh, radius is just emitter radius. Oh, we're setting the radius there. So if we take this and we just multiply, so we take the radius from the emitter and we multiply that by the radius scale. Now this should be influencing it. Yeah, now it does. So that's how we do. So radius will just copy this over, rotate around points, paste, rotate around point, paste. Default should be 1. And then in all of them, like just at begin play, what we do is we have the... Ooh. Please tell me that I made a proper notify class for this. Please tell me that I made a proper notify class for this. I might not have. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Start attack? gameplay abilities. It's all gameplay abilities. I don't think I have a proper notify class for this. How do I set this up then? Do I just add them through... Okay, I think I know how I add them. It's actually not that bad. What we can do... So we have it in here, right? In enemies and gameplay ability system, gameplay abilities, we have simple play animation. And I think in this, no, play basic attack animation. In here, we spawn the system attached. And we spawn a location and a rotation. And then we can set a parameter, set float param before we do anything else. Only if this is valid, actually. Like, is valid. Because if it doesn't, I don't actually know. We'll put an is valid in just to be sure. Adding in an extra is valid never really hurts. Well, technically, if you don't need it, it's like fucking half a CPU instruction. So there is that, I suppose. We have the characters mesh, get scale. I think that's relative scale. And we can just take one of them, just like take the X, and then we do 1 divided by that. That will be the in value, and this will be, what did we call it again? The radius scale. Let's just fucking copy that name over. Copy display name. I think this fixes it. I think this will now just make sure that every one of these particles is also just like consistent across the board. And if we really want to, we can add in an extra variable that then multiplies again or something like that. But that's a little beyond what we're doing right now, I think. Controller. You see, I'm getting better at remembering to use a controller now that I actually have one. So let's first and foremost see what this looks like on... it's a little laggy. On one of these normal, like normal-ass dudes. Okay. It's bigger. Why is it bigger? It's bigger because it's dividing by a number under 1. But that's... So it should just be that big consistently though, right? So if I now go into a different enemy in a moment and they do a revenge attack, it should also be that big. So if I just go back in then and set the radius to like 10 instead of 100, it should consistently start being that size. So hopefully that's the case. We're about to fucking find out. Nope. Don't look like it. Something fucking is happening. It's... I don't know what. I guess we also... it's not only the radius scale, it's also the height being influenced. So we are lerping between like 0 and 1,000. 1,000 is not the height, is it? What is the height? No, I think it should be... We do this. Yeah, this one only goes up that high. So we lerp between this and 1,000 multiplied by radius scale as well. I wish you could just like shift click as well here to copy over. It's really annoying that you can't for some reason. At least you could probably just Control C actually, but it would be nice if those kind of interactions are like consistent throughout the entire engine. So if anybody in Epic is watching this, please get that fixed. That would be ideal. Honestly, if we manage to fix this issue, also because we're dealing with, I need to test both anyway. Doesn't really hurt to have a little bit more gameplay experience. If we can get these particles like fixed up and nailed down. There we go. I do think that like one of the bigger issues that I've been working on, again, we're going to look into that. I think we'll just be able to lower the radius in the system, and that'll be that. Man, my GPU is not happy. I'm saving up for a new one, okay? At some point we're gonna have like very smooth gameplay on these streams, but that point's not right now. Okay, I think that does look like it's consistently sized now. So if we just go back into here and we go rotate around points, can I just like actually copy? No, that just copies over the entire module. That does make sense. And I say that this is like 300 instead, and the radius is, oh, it's set to 500 by default. So if we set that to like 150, can I select multiple at the same time? No, I cannot. So that's 150. That's also 150, and then we go back down here to 500. We probably should make this parameter as well. I think that should now just work across the board for this system anyway. Sure. Failed to save correctly. Play basic attack animation. Why? Why aren't you saving? It's quite important that you save properly. Failed to save? Yeah, but why? I'll lose my shit if it is this is valid node. It's not the is valid node, so that's a good thing. But why? And why? Quite important that we manage to save that, because that holds the particle emitter. Let's first see what it looks like right now. Because those little like swirly things around the enemy should have been like a little tighter to begin with. The other day when we were streaming, I don't know, I think it's like one of you guys actually asked if that was a power-up, and it should be much more obvious that it is something to do with the actual enemy. And I think now that it's tighter around the enemy, it's probably a bit more obvious that it is. Verify that it's you. My dude, I'm in the middle of a stream. What the fuck do you mean verify it's you? YouTube, can you just please... What the hell? Alright, that's a nice 2-for-1. Okay, so what does it look like for these guys? That's the most important bit. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, that's that. There's still one bug that I'm aware of that we definitely also do need to fix. And that is, if I can manage to kill all of these guys, this guy is going to try to heal himself. Which is obviously not what we want. Like, even like this, I think at some point he's going to try to start healing himself if he has nothing else to heal. He's hanging out on the floor right now because he's stunned. At some point he's going to stop being stunned. And he's going to start trying to heal himself. Or maybe not. Like, this guy's AI in general is just kind of messed up. So I'm thinking about replacing him with a non-flying enemy. Because that's part of the issue. Is me wanting to make flying enemies that also like behave properly. Their movement also is not good. So I'm thinking that I just get rid of the idea of flying enemies altogether, maybe? I don't know. Would be really limiting in like designing new enemies if they can only be like floating, like these guys at best. And these guys only float because their collision comes to the ground and then their mesh starts up a little bit higher. That is, honestly... Also, I died. Holy hell. That is honestly like most of my... I don't care. Most of my character designs. They just don't have legs. Okay, YouTube, what are you on? Oh, hold on. Don't... Fucking what was that? Don't open that up on my main screen, you fucking wanker. What even is my password for this? I always log in with other stuff. And now I need to confirm on my phone. Why do you do this in the middle of the stream? Seriously. I need to do this just to be sure that it's not going to like nuke me. I think we're good to go. Okay. Display capture again. There we go. So yeah, that flying guy's AI is a little weird. I think for now the solution is just we're not going to have him in there. I think that's just the easiest way to deal with that. And we'll take a look at that at some point in the future again. Because his AI is just fucked, to be honest with you. I think this guy just is good, which means that we've now gotten back to the point where the entire tutorial functions, I believe. So let's play through the entire tutorial. One last thing. We have the night boss default values, which should be set back. I don't remember what I set these to. I think I set the health to 200. So let's set these back as well. Then the mana, I don't think this guy uses mana, to be honest with you. Defense, I think I set that to like 75, maybe. Damage 12, weight, doesn't matter. Knockback set to 100, sure. Oh, hold on. No, before we do anything at all, I'm going to close everything that we're not working on at the moment. Which is quite a lot of things. And I'm going to try to save that asset again, because we desperately need to be able to save that. I'm thinking maybe it was just not able to save because it was referenced in something else that was open, but no. Why does it fail to save? Guess we're going to Google that. Unreal Blueprints failed to save. Okay, this code was wrong. It turns out that I accidentally had launched the editor twice. Do I have the other editor open? I do! Okay. That's why. Probably. I have it open 3 times. Oh, that explains why everything is so laggy as well. Okay, that's safe now. Okay, we can play through the entire tutorial section now. We still are over streaming budgets, don't get me wrong. But we can play through the entire tutorial now. And we even have the cinematic at the end of the tutorial, which technically works. Doesn't look good, but it technically works. I need to reanimate that entire fucking thing, and I don't look forward to it, but at some point we'll need to. Okay, good shit. And that means that we can start working through the purple dungeon content, which we're not going to do today. I'll just hang out a little bit longer, and like if anybody like in chat has like questions or things that they like me to talk about. Oh, it enables input too early there. Okay, we still have one issue to figure out in a moment. Matter of fact, before... Okay, we have 2 issues to figure out. I don't care about trigger box spending kill, god damn it. Okay, we've got 2 issues to resolve here. Number 1 is in this level blueprint. In the spawner tutorial, I think in here somewhere. Oh, hold on, no, it's not in there. I think the issue is in the text widgets. Because this enables inputs always. It should only enable inputs if it's actually removing the widgets. Okay. Then the other thing that we should definitely check out is in the player, in the gameplay ability system, gameplay abilities, like these attacks. Their max attacks range at the moment is 500, which is... If I just take this guy and move him 500 units forward, which I think we can just do. Is that much? Holy hell, hold on, no. That should definitely... Okay, that means that there's something significantly wrong about the sword attack base. So this one probably, like, is this checking if the distance is more than a certain... So on combat dash, it only checks if closest enemy is valid, and if it is valid, it has a dash duration, which is a variable, I guess. That makes sense. So I guess they were too close to it. The dash duration is too long. Okay, so we do dash duration multiplied by distance. So the, well, no, divided by distance. So the, if we are further away, we want it to take longer. So we do want it to be multiplied by distance. And for this one, it can just be normal, but we can just... like here, distance 2, distance vector, hold on, are you saying that that's a C++ thing that doesn't exist in Blueprint? Oh, it's enemy location, it's not a... So if I just get closest enemy and I point the get distance to. The third person character. I don't know if this is going to just work out of the box. It might not, it might look really weird, but this might also fix the issue where I was missing the like final attack a lot. So we'll see. So if there's no enemies nearby, we still just have like that rhythm to it, right? Well, the rhythm isn't going to change, but the forward momentum. There's something weird about that as well. Okay, that definitely... So we need to get the distance and, like, divide it by 1,000. Because it's in centimeters and we want it to be in meters. Why, hello, Toby. Thanks for stopping by. While I'm losing my mind. Okay. Okay, it's maybe a little too snappy now. But it feels like it is also dealing a lot better with the distance now, so that's good. Like, these distances are pretty good. It's just when there's an enemy nearby, it's like, how am I gonna deal with that? That's a fantastic question. When I'm very close by, I guess we just have to clamp it, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, I think that's what we have to do. So we divide this by 1,000. And then we get the minimum between that and 1. So it'll never be short. It'll never be longer. But it can be made shorter this way. Or quicker. Yeah, I think that's the way that we do it. I think that is the way that we do it. Look at me! Fucking improving my combat feel still. It's gonna be something that we do throughout the entire development process, I'm sure. Okay, let's see. This... Oh, that is also because we have that separate ability that's specifically for closing the distance. I do feel like the snappiness of it is improved in like close quarters combat, which is what you're going to be in most of the time, so it's good. My heal button doesn't work. What is my heal button again? I don't fucking know. We'll look into that. It still enables the input. Why is it still enabling the input there? It shouldn't be. Now, the heal button itself definitely works. It's just the ability that's fucking up, I think. Because that thing is also, like that area recovery is also mapped to the healing button. So speaking of the healing button, I would very much... Oh, I can just heal. And it does stop me from moving, so my healing just works. It was just bugging a little bit before, which is still not good. But hey, I think my combat is actually like getting there at this point. Still missing sometimes, while I feel like it shouldn't be, but, you know, maybe the game doesn't also need to auto-aim too hard. I don't know, I'll give it to some people to test, like, next week or something. Oh, and their AI also doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe I'll also get rid of them for the time being. Their AI just isn't doing anything for some reason. I don't know why. Also, this guy. There's a lot of AI to actually... What the fuck? This guy isn't even allowing me to target it. What's up with that? Okay, the spider is also being a little weird. To be fair, the spider is also, like, buggy in a lot of ways, so... I think I'll take the IDs for the spider and that flying enemy and implement them in some new enemies at some point in the future. Rather than trying to fix what's already there, because those things are broken as hell. And frankly, I don't love the models either. Oh yeah, I don't have anything going on for the menu navigation yet. Okay, so let's level up strength a little. Let's level up everything. I know that it's technically like not allowed with the amount of experience that I have, but I'm just gonna level up everything once. Dashing actually doesn't do anything for like helping you move faster, by the way. But it helps with feeling like you're moving faster. Which actually probably is not a good thing. That's actually probably a bad thing. Oh, this is gonna... yeah. I forgot about that. Well. That's why we play through these things. Which level is this? That's 0-5 platforming. Let's open that up. And we will delete this node. I think that's the only thing that I need to delete. Probably. Yes. The wonderful thing about having a bunch of save files just ready to go, so I don't really have to do that combat thing again. I can just do the other two. I know that the key unlocking systems work. Nothing's changed about that in months, so that just works. That said though, now that things are like running on high quality settings, things do be looking pretty good. Oh, it's not giving me back my... not giving me back my shit. Because I need to manually do that. No, not there. This one. I don't need to do that anymore. I might as well just put it in there. Let's be careful about this and re-enable the input before we remove from parent, just because if for some reason we happen to remove from parent and then only one tick later, I think it executes everything within one tick anyway, so the garbage collector wouldn't be able to get to that object before it does the rest of its thing, but I don't know. There's no worse thing than thinking that you're technically correct and then finding out that you're technically wrong and it's breaking everything. So just be safe. Better be safe than sorry. Just do things the safest way. And obviously this is super basic platforming. If you mess this up, you're actually you probably shouldn't play the rest of the game. Not that the game is going to have heavy platforming, but this is insanely easy. So yeah, nothing about this really changed. And I don't think much about this is going to change for a while. At some point I'll revisit it. One of the keyholes is unlocked. I still like this room a lot because it is it is actually lit by the lighting from these panels, so you can see that there's a mix of red and green all around. But then as the puzzle becomes more complete, it becomes more green, and the more you fuck things up, the more red the lighting in the rooms becomes. You see, this is very red now. But if I actually solve the puzzle, which it's now very green because it's almost solved. I think I just maybe fucked up the solution quite badly though. Hold on. The solution is actually very easy. I'm bad at this sort of puzzle. This puzzle is going to get replaced by a different gameplay section, by the way. This was initially the idea, having a specific puzzle in each dungeon. But then I remember I fucking hate puzzles, and they're really difficult to design and even more difficult to test. So I'm going to replace those gameplay sections with something else. There we go. And you'll note now that I finished the puzzle, I can't switch these things over anymore. And now the entire room is green. That was an accident. Because a lumen just does that when global illumination is set to higher epic. And that's really kind of cool. Did not intend to do it that way, but it's just like one of those little gifts that Unreal Engine gives you sometimes without even thinking about it. Okay. So we know that everything works up until the boss fights. We know that the boss fight works, but we just to finish things off, right? Let's just go into the boss fights at like 2 frames per second, because that can't possibly go wrong. Oh, my chat's set to top chat again, not live chat. Have I been missing any chats? I don't think so. I don't think my chat is active enough for YouTube to start like filtering out stuff. What the fuck? Oh, how did that happen? That's not the save file I wanted to load. Seriously, how did that happen? That's what? Okay, that was just a little bit of a weird bug, sure. It's really annoying that that screen's on my viewport now, but sure. Ah, that just misses. Okay, that boss fight's just become a lot easier. Again, this cinematic, very placeholder. Very bad in a lot of ways. I didn't even finish loading this map before this part of the cutscene triggered. Huh. I guess that's something that could technically happen on lower end hardware. Not something that I can do much about, though, I don't think. Anyway, so now we're up here, and I'm going to like unselect this because it's really annoying. That's probably the reason that the performance issues were happening, aside from the whole like bad GPU thing. Can I walk back and forth between these easily? So yeah, that code works. That's good. Just needed to check that. And then from here on out, we haven't really like done any like major design. You do immediately get smacked in the face with those guys though, which is an immediate, hey, welcome to hell. Man, my camera's not keeping up with my movement. It's kind of interesting because it seems like the camera's movement is like based on real time and the character movement is based on like delta time. And something just seems to have finished loading or something. Wait, do these guys not die? Hold the fuck on. Oh, they probably just don't have a death animation. because I can't hit them anymore. But I can't hit them anymore, so that means that they're... Oh yeah, so that makes sense actually. So what happens is that bull is getting flipped. So I can't actually hit them anymore. We programmed that literally today, but they don't have a death animation, I don't think. Oh, I also had my lock on one of them. That's probably why my camera is being so weird. Oh, but they still kind of will attack me. So let's take a look at that death animation, because I think that will be an important thing to fix. I have an animation for it, I'm pretty sure. So let's... I think they're called Reapers. Yeah, so I think we just have like death montage. Yeah, it just doesn't play. Huh. Why would that be? That's weird. That's really weird. I think I have a save file. In a place where I can more easily like access some of these guys. Oh, there's also a spider down here, which, yeah, their AI is just broken. I don't know what. We'll look into that in a moment. Ooh, this area needs more lighting. And more fucking VRAM. Holy hell, this is slow. There we go. Oh, these are just normal ghosts. I thought they were going to be Reapers in here. It's just basic ghosts. Sure. Probably should throw in a Reaper or two. I'm such a platforming god. Okay. So yeah, let's check them out again. They have a revenge attack. It's good. It's trying to run away. Oh, now it died. Okay, sure. Oh. Okay. So that's just because this is running on the default slots. We have which means that's getting overridden by the attacks, right? So if we have the animation graph here, we have like all those apply additive, then we have default slots, then we post by bool, but we also want to have a slot specifically for the death animation, which will override everything as a safety precaution to prevent this exact type of thing. So new slot name, where do we actually set this up? Do we do that in here? Gonna get somewhere. Also, hello, welcome. It's not an asset browser, surely. Oh, slot manager, there we have it. We add a slot, which will just be death slots. And then we can set this to death slot, which for some reason fucks up the dissolve. Why would that fuck up the dissolve? Okay, it just needs to like fucking reload it, I guess. Sure. And then this can be set to death slot. So that fixes that. How you doing? I'm honestly just going through my game and running into issues and fixing them when I run into them, because there's been a lot of times over the past months where I've been like, okay, that's an issue. That's an issue for me in the future. That's an issue for future me. Gonna take care of that at some point. But the issue with dealing with issues like that is that at some point you're gonna need to deal with them. So that's what I'm doing today. What I have been doing today, actually. I'm going to like end the stream pretty soon. But I do want to look into the spider enemies AI specifically. So let's put this up. I'm gonna put these up side by side like this. That's fine. Put that up like there. I actually don't know that that will work like that. Never actually tried that. Oh, we're about to fucking find out. Yeah, no, that seems to work. That's good. Okay. I always just do this like in the editor viewport, but clearly just in like a separate window it also works. This is not the door that I wanted to go through. Okay, so this is the map that I wanted to test this out in, because there's a spider in here, and this spider refuses to literally do anything. So let's go through and see. It's trying to do an ability. Oh, the patrol stuff. Okay, so it's not patrolling because it doesn't have that. That makes sense. But it's also trying to do an ability that it doesn't have, I think. Right? Oh, no, it is actually shooting me. It just can't move. So when I get close enough, do you... Okay, so here we have the player distance is less than 500. This definitely is. Why does it still think it's 1800? Because... Oh... Okay, so the issue is that it doesn't have anywhere to go, so it doesn't go through this update distance to player. So it doesn't update it and doesn't like deal with any of these two. So we just need to replace the patrol function. And we can just copy that over from the basic daemon. I don't remember what it's called, but I made one at some point. Yeah, so we just run an EQS, then move to patrol location, and then we wait at that patrol location. That's just kind of how we do things. You have a patrol location, you can wait, so like this will be the default behavior. EQS also takes that over. So I think that just fixed up the spiders AI. That doesn't fix up the AI for the flying golems yet, though. I feel like that's going to maybe be a little bit more complicated to fix up, because they are just a pain to deal with, if I'm being like really honest with you. But we'll see if we can spot any obvious issues, and otherwise I am actually going to end the stream soon. Anyway, can you patrol? Are you walking? You are in fact not walking. Why are you not walking? The fuck is wrong with you? Behavior tree, I just close it down, just assuming that everything was fine. Spoiler, everything was not fine. It's doing a query. Oh, this is... It's a selector, it should be a sequence. That might be. You see, here it's a sequence because it does one, then the other, then the other. That said, this probably should have a decorator. Oh, I'm assuming that these decorators just cancel. Yeah, they cancel lower priority, so that's fine. Okay. So now, the spider should have been fixed. Maybe. Hopefully. Well, that was my bad. Still doesn't look like it's fucking walking around, is it? Oh, but it definitely is. Never mind. It is. It's walking around. It's also walking sideways like a crab. Don't know what that's all about, but sure. YouTube is not receiving enough video material. Oh, my bandwidth is dying again, isn't it? Well, it's a pretty good point to end of the stream soon anyway. But let's see if we can see any obvious issues with the Golem AI. I think the easiest place to get to those would be through that area as well. Unless I have a save file in the central hub, but I think the central hub save file actually is fucky. I think there's a bug with that. Oh, that probably shouldn't be the case, being able to be hit the moment you load in. It doesn't seem good. But, my game's starting to stutter as well, so maybe I shouldn't be playing this in high quality settings while I'm also streaming. Maybe that's the issue. But I want things to look good. Well, they don't look good because they're blurry. So mission failed, I guess. And with low frame rates, like Lumen also falls apart real hard. Okay, let's see. None of these guys are doing fucking anything. So what's up with all that? That's because... Check enemy defense below. Percent to check 0. What even is this? So I don't think I need this decorator. I think once we get rid of this decorator... It's at the patrol location, and then it will be able to do this. But it should only be able to do this when the defense is... Well, it's below... It's checking for below 0. Of course it's not going to be below 0. If I just set this to below 1, I think that fixes the entire AI. The question is, when and why did they stop working? Presumably when I added that. But you'd think I would have noticed that they just stopped working altogether at some point when I added that node, or the decorator rather. You would think. You would think that I wouldn't be an idiot. Also, actually, no. I just want to go back to medium, man. I want to be able to play at more than 2 frames per second. Which is making some of the lighting... Well, it's actually not fixing anything, is it? My god. Do I really need to set my stuff to low? But clearly my VRAM is just not having it. To the point where I can't even open my fucking thank you. Set everything to low and see if I can just at least play through. A texture streaming pool is just a setting in the projects, I know, but... Wow, this looks like shit on low settings. Can barely see anything. Okay. I should also get rid of those on level transition. Oh well. Okay, these guys still aren't doing anything? Oh, they're trolling. They do be trolling. What does this node even do? Attributes, defense base value, defense max value, gets a percentage. Do these guys not have a defense base value? Is that the issue? Ability system. Defense is 20 and 20. Yeah, definitely. Why is that blocking? Also, do I really not have anything? I do have a save file in Central Hub, and it does work. So we should just use that. Oh, the bug with it is that it puts me at a random door. Not that it doesn't load. I thought it was not going to load, but it just puts you at a random door because that's how the level loading system works. It's complicated. It works when there's no like empty doors that don't lead anywhere, which in the final game there won't be. Okay, so this is saying 1. Oh, hold on. I just made a fuck up in that, didn't I? I'm percentage to check. I'm dividing that by 100. Should just go in straight away. We don't want to check it on a 0 to 1 scale. We want to check it on a 0 to 100 scale, right? I think that's the issue. Oh, it doesn't actually put you at a random door. It always puts you at this door, which I guess is just the first like unassigned door in the registry or something. I don't know. But I can pretend to now and seem smart. Welcome to YouTube. Okay. Do you guys move around now? I mean, you still don't. Why not? Well, actually, because that is, it is returning a value of 1. That divided by that is, oh, that's why. Okay, so we want to multiply this by 100. Oh, not 110, that'd be weird. And I was just checking if the percentage to check is less than or equal to 0, which obviously it won't be. But this makes it a percentage in a range of 0 to 100. This, once again, is a bug that I noted a long time ago. I don't even remember when I noticed that this was a thing that was happening. And we're finally getting around to fixing it. This feels really good. This feels really good to finally like get some stuff that was broken and make it like unbroken. We should also take care of those like curse things and just make them work in general. They are flying around. They are flying around. They're patrolling. They're stuck. And he can attack me. The golems work. And he's stunned for a little bit. I really like the stunned animation that I made for them. I'm glad that this works because I like their navigation's still shit, don't get me wrong. They get stuck on stuff. But they manage to like unstuck themselves sometimes, right? For instance, this guy. What are you thinking at the moment, buddy? You're waiting. Find patrol flight. Okay, let's get him stuck. Why is that stuck? Because he's instantly finding his patrol location. Look, I just need better aerial navigation, but I don't know if you've ever tried to look into pathfinding, but writing custom pathfinding is actually like black magic. So I don't think I will be doing that. There are a couple of pre-made solutions on the marketplace that I could look into, and maybe I'll do that. But for right now, the way that they work is good enough. They're really buggy. They're bad at navigating, but it's kind of the best that we're going to get, I think. I don't really feel like investing a bunch of time in figuring out how to write a good navigation system for that. Like some of the workarounds that I've seen is attaching a projectile component and just make it home toward the location where you want them to be, and like make Unreal's projectile system take care of that. But that seems like not the way to do it either. So just having a proper like A-star pathfinding in like 3 dimensions instead of just the flat nav meshes that Unreal itself provides you with is probably the solution there. But that's a long-term issue that I'm gonna like probably just buy a fix for, and then I have to implement what I bought still, but I probably won't write that from the ground up. That doesn't seem like a good use of my time. Just like continuing this stream won't be a good use of my time either. So I'm going to end it. Well, it would be fun. But I'm going to end the stream here. It's been a good one. We've made good progress. We've squashed quite a couple of bugs and some weirdness and stuff. So at this point, the game's back to being playable. And it hasn't been for a while. So can we all just applaud that for a moment? The only like next thing to take into account is to finish up some level design stuff in Le Purple Dungeon. And then we'll have 1 dungeon in like a prototype state. And then we just need to make like 7 more. I'll see you all back next week. We'll probably be doing some purple dungeon level design next week, though. So, see you then. Thanks for watching.